Back to You Can Do It. This is part of the Mini N14 series, refresh series. This is basically going to be a video about how you can take the clutch out or take the gearbox off without actually taking the subframe off, just lowering it a little bit. So basically this is applicable to anyone who wants to take the gearbox off and change the clutch or flywheel or whatever. So it doesn't matter whether the front end's on or off. I mean, it's exactly the same principle. I mean, I've got it all, it's all off at the moment because we're doing the refresh. It's going to be exactly the same procedure. So this is going to be a really short, sharp, dirty video about how to do it all. So yeah, so if you've got, like, for instance, if you've got the oil cooler and all the exhaust on, it still doesn't make any difference. It just means that it's just not quite as easy to see where the bolts are. But here you can see exactly where all your bolts are and what we need to do to get the gearbox off. And then you can work out whether you're doing it with how you're going to actually do it. You know, pull the front forward. But if you drop the subframe totally off, then obviously you don't need to do this. But this is with just by lowering the subframe a little bit, and in that case you'd have to put this into service mode and pull it forward a bit and take the leg off there. Okay, so first of all we've got to take the drive shafts out. Yeah, so that means we've got to take the drive shaft off. So these discs are off at the moment because I'm just sorting out the calipers and putting a new back plate on it, but that doesn't matter. So you just need to undo that nut there, same on the other side, which basically means our shafts are loose on there on your CV joint. So I need to undo those, but first of all we'll have to go underneath and we'll disconnect the lower arm from the hub. Okay, now these bolts can be quite tight, so you're going to see what I need for this one here. So we're under here and you need to undo those two bolts there. So that means this means that this is loose now. Yeah, which means they can then get the drive shaft out. And then we need to do the same here on this side. So we need to undo that. These are really, really tight on this one for some reason. So I've got to get a serious extension bar on there and crack them. But let me take those off now. So I've undone that nut on there, taking that off, which then allows you to move that there and you can pull out your drive shaft. So we'll do that on both sides. We just need to get a lever up there behind that rusty bit and just lever that against the box and pop that out. So I'll do that now. I'll drain the oil. We've drained the oil before, which is basically that plug there. Undo that plug there and the oil will drain out, which we've done. So otherwise you get covered in oil. So basically you need to just put a lever up there. The battery went dead on me. I haven't done that and that, yeah. So they're 16s, I think, just taking that. That's dead easy, drop that out. We've undone that one there and that one there. And then that drive shaft just literally, once you've got it out of the hub, just literally pulls out. That's dead easy. Right at the back here you've got one bolt there, and that one there. Yeah, now this is on the gearbox side and that's on the other side, because this is a left-hand drive, but that's rather than say driver side or whatever. So this side we just loosen them. Yeah, we just loosen them. I've taken them right out and put some grease back on them, just so we just loosen those side, but this side we take right out. Okay, and we take it out from there. We don't need to take it out from there. I was going to put that one back in there. Yeah. So what the idea is, we're gonna have a go at just sort of dropping the subframe to one side. Those two are loosened. That's loosened, and the one there. Yeah, you have to loosen those just so that they're not tight. Yeah, and then the whole idea is that the subframe then can hang down on this side. And on this side, if you've got xenon lights, you need to disconnect the cable on that, I think. Maybe it's just safe, it's best to disconnect it. I don't know, I'll have a look at that. Okay, so let me do that. And then this one, of course, up here, that one there, we'll take that right out as well. And then we can drop it, all right? But in the meantime, we need to make sure we take these things off, because otherwise you'll drag all that down with you. Oh no, there's not maybe enough space on there. I want to take them off there just in case anyway, because I don't want to hit them when I take the gearbox off. Okay, so let me do that. They're all off and unclipped now. I can just hold them out of the way, which I'll do that when I get further up. Then we need to take this little bracket off here as well. Okay. All right, so look, I've taken those three out from under there. Those are loosened. That's in. The one up there has been loosened. One up there has been loosened. Right, so I've still got that jack there, so that's supporting the actual the subframe. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take the lower drop link. Now you've got a choice, you can do it at the top or the bottom. I'm going to do it at the bottom, see if it's easier there. But they might spin, in which case you need some long mole grips to grab it and stop it turning. But anyway, let me see how I get on. So we've got that lower link bolt out. They can be real bitches because they can be completely seized in there. So just to let you know, you can either, I think it's a 6mm or a 5mm Allen key in the end there to hold it, but even that can twist. Or there, you can have a 17mm. Look, there's some flats on there, so you can get 17mm on there if it's really tight. Okay, so we've got that off now. Okay, we've got the connector for the xenon light level detector. So that's off. Probably find I've got fault on that now after that. Okay, so we've done that. So now we just need to get this shaft out, and so we need to go back underneath. So I've basically undone that bracket that was there. I've lifted that up so it's out of the way. It's not going to catch. All right, so that's done there. Because we're going to try and drop that subframe down like that on that side. Now, if you've got a UK car, which is a right-hand drive, then you don't need to worry about the steering. But because this is a left-hand drive car, that's going to try and pull the steering thing through. So you need to come in. You there? You see that 13mm there? 13mm nut there. We just need to loosen that. Now, if you notice, I've put a mark there. I mean, I've just put a mark, so you can see that red mark that goes down, and I've also put a red mark on that side. So I know I can't get that thing in the wrong place. So so long as the steering rack doesn't move, it's going to be in exactly the right place. Okay. So we've done that. What you've got to be careful is this undo. It's just three plastic 10mm here, which you just undo off of your here. Because what will actually happen, this ends up holding the frame up. So that means that the frame can come down a bit further now. So now what we can do is just loosen it, let this down a bit. Look, so we've got that down quite a bit there. So I'm beginning to think we must be almost getting there. Hey, look. So it's actually starting to hit the gearbox. We need to start lowering the engine. All right, so that's good. So now what we need to do is support the weight of this. Well, what I'm going to do is put a support on here. So I'm going to put one of my things back in the pit. But you don't need the pit to do this. It's just easier for me to video from here. So now what we're going to do is support this and support the engine. Okay, I've been around and I've left one or two in because obviously it's all still hanging on there. I'm now going to undo this one and this one because we're going to take this off. And then I'm going to have to go back up the top and we'll do the last stuff at the top, and then we can start dropping it down and get this puppy out. Okay, so let me just take this and this off because this is the clutch slave cylinder. It's connected here, but it's flexible on the other end. But we need to take it out from the top. So let me do that and we'll go back up the top. All right, so we're back up here on the top. So this is your slave cylinder bracket to support. So we're going to undo it there. I'm going to take it out of there because that's going to get in the way if we leave it on the box, and we want to get that out anyway. So let's do both, okay? So I'll take that out and I'll take that out. Then we need to take this one off and this one off because this is what holds these off here, and then we take this off here and here, yeah? And then pretty much everything's off, and then we can start lowering the box, okay? So let me do that. All right, they're off now. So now we just need to take them off this end, which is literally well, I'll show you. Put a screwdriver under there, peel that back. I've got a screwdriver under there. It's on a little clip, and you push that back like that. So now we can just leave it behind there and pull those off. Bang, bang. Right, they're out of the way. They're tied up out of the way there. There's a lot of space here now. So now we just need to undo this here, which is your reversing switch, I think. It's quite tight, that, actually. It's quite interesting. So I'm just going to quickly whip that one out. So now we need to take these four here, undo those four, but we don't do that until we drop it from here. So before I drop it from there, obviously I've got a support underneath with the jack and a block of wood. So let me go and do that. Supported on a jack there, and I've now undone that nut there. So basically all the weight of the engine is supported from there and the jack. So if I let the jack down slowly, that will give me more space to take these four bolts out here, and then I can take that cover out. So you just don't need to take that out. Drop down now, so we can just undo those four bolts and take that mount out, and then we can undo the last few bolts and get the box off. That came out, so that came out of there now. So now we've got loads of room there. Look, okay, we've dropped the box, so now we can safely move this a little way because it's on the jack. We can move the whole thing a little bit this way and just take the box out. So We've got one bolt here, one bolt there, and one on the other side to undo. So I'll undo that, and then we can take the box off. All right, you've got one bolt here. Undo. One bolt here where my finger is. This is on. Oh, you can't see that. There's one bolt there, and there's one on the other side of the starter motor, which you've already taken off. So I'll just take this last one out. I've just got the jack holding the engine and the gearbox. I've just got a jack holding that, just in case that came off while I'm trying to do this videoing and stuff like that. And then now we need to just sort of knock this jack, or find a point, knock this gearbox, find a lever to. I'll put that in there just so that will slide out onto that and it won't suddenly spin. And we'll just sort of I'll tap that. I'll get the gearbox. Right. Okay. Now there's a 13mm bolt here. There's a 13mm here where my finger is, and that does the goes through to the starter motor. So these are all torque bits, and that last one there is a 13mm. Secret bolt. Just remember that for the starter motor, because it goes through the gearbox. You won't get the gearbox off. So if you've got all your bolts off and you can't get your gearbox off, it's that one. Okay, so now it's all mounted, weighted here. So I'm now going to pull the gearbox off that way. Okay, so look, it's coming off now. I've got that dowel in there so it doesn't spin. So now I can sort of manhandle that out and lower it with the jack. Okay, we've got the clutch off now. A little bit of manhandling, but that's it. Look, you can see the subframe's all there. I'm going to take that off quickly and go and get a new one. Bit of history here for you, look. If you read that there, it says 07808. So that's the original mini clutch. Okay, which probably means my flywheel's knackered as well. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to take it off.